Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and evening and amazing, spectacular Propagandacast from your host from Pearl Dane, the one, the only master Propaganda, your lord and master, your king of kings, off here to a 1v1 own. You guessed it, it is Mill Road in north. It is Asiamint fighting for the Red Army, the Soviet Union, Comrade Stalin. Here with the glorious 6th Mechanized Corps with airborne troop tactics, urban defense, and armored assault with double mine and Katyusha bulletins. Didn't know that was also 50% built faster bullets, actually. Oh well, in the south it is Jimmy fighting for the Oberkommand Germany, Deutschland. Here with the 10th Panzerdivision featuring Grand Offensive, Overwatch, and Elite Armoured. We got a double Volkskunde start versus double conscripts, and as always, a big hearty thanks to my paid reporters. Without these champions, these heroes of the propaganda ministry, this episode would simply not be possible. So big thanks to all those and their most delightful support. You too can join the ranks by pledging on Patreon or donating via PayPal. Links in the video description. And as you know, comment, like, share, subscribe, press the bell button. Keep up the good fight against YouTube algorithms. So, moving up in the centre with the full community, swiftly laying down some sandbags. We got the conscript tank from the north with a third one on the way to Asiamint. Well, attacking, it's more likely that you have to make a casual stroll with guns. So, yeah. Probably very normally in North America. Anyways, heading from the northern point there with the Sturmpionier, heading east with 7 engineers. Focus moving towards the eastern point there. Third conscript on the way there for Asiamint. So far, all fairly quiet. Neither side have yet to commit to a doctrine. They both remain a bit, so there, a bit humdrum. Northern point secured by the Sturmpionier with the Sturmgewehr 44. Third full squad there on the way for Jimmy. Also, fun fact, at the end of the war, the Germans actually planned a newer version of the Sturmgewehr 45, which really didn't seem like significant usage. In fact, I think they barely managed to produce any numbers of it before the war ended. But little fun fact there. In fact, there was a lot of weapons like rats to weapons that were starting to make their way forwards. They also had, for example, the MG45, which was basically just the MG42, but with apparently an even higher rate of fire. But anyways, triple constant engineers there for Asiamint. We'll have to see what that indicates. None of it could possibly be urban defense. I'm a shock too, but like typically this means you're not going for, say, a lot of upgrades for your conscripts, like with the airborne troop tactics, where you give yourself a bit of room for elite troops. Though it could still surprise us just by going for something else. There's certainly a few choices there for Asiamint here versus Jimmy. Fults there being slowly shot to bits. We got more Fults going to be around here for Jimmy. Then we got in the center with their Kar 98K. Fults flanking from the south here. Sturmpionier backing a bit off there for Jimmy. Ludwig drops there. Otto dies out there in the face of the conscript engineers here. Asiamint just steadily pressuring up. Jin is just not fighting from, let's say, the most efficient of positions here against Asiamint, who on the hand is managing to fight overall for very good position. Sturmpionier popping into the shed here. That said, that's position actually not hard. You got 3 windows, but there you go. Asiamint, he has the counter. It is the flamethrower pushing there. Jimmy's forces back with heavy losses and some losses inflicted on his opponent, but the problem is Asiamint still has plenty more troops to pull through the gaps. He was Jimmy now effectively just as one squad there with another one on the way. So Jimmy here committing to the typical 4 Fults going to build for the Oberkommand West because, well, there's not really a lot else to get in the early game as the Oberkommand West, except the Kubelwagen or more Sturmpioneers. Most players just never bother with a Sturmpionier. Mega supplies here, except one. Pursuing here the Fulton in the east, moving up here to defend the car plant. We got mines in the car plant as well there by Asiamint. Thumbs up. Back here we do have the medics up there, possibly some grenades as soon as well. Truck out. Guessing Battlefield headquarters here for Jimmy. That is the standard Oberkommand West metagame. Mechanized regiment, despite, for quite long periods of time of the Oberkommand West overall lifetime in Communist 2, having been very mechanized focused, by now it's very much the Battlefield headquarters that is the reigning champion of the Oberkommand West metagame. So there you go, Battlefield headquarters in Chugop. I was actually planning mechanized. That would be a bit interesting there from Jimmy. That would be a bit of a surprise there. Fortunately, being pursued by the flamethrower engineers, they're not having any of that. Going south, conscripts routed. Back here, troops setting out a fresh wave here of infantry from Asiamint's base. A fresh socialist assault to throw back the fascists. As Jimmy here goes straight for the car point. Truck there is going for the Battlefield headquarters. There's just a brief moment of hesitation, perhaps. His finger hovering over the mechanized regiment truck. His dreams filled with light tanks and heavy armored cars, but in the end he settled on medics and, flak half tracks. Full squad, they're being swarmed here by infantry in the north. Need to be careful there. Need to retreat, or they're going to get interred within that cemetery there. Well, whatever's left of them is going to be interred there. So there you go. Comfortable hard critique up there for Jimmy. Still no doctrine from either side. Asiamint could still say go for airborne troop tactics. Maybe he's planning airborne guards troops we make stand. In fact, you know, I'd be cool to say still go for, say, urban defense or armored assault. Volksgruppen engineers in the center. Sturmpuni heading northwards. Southern point being seized by the Volksgrenadiere. Battle headquarters done. Mechanized upgrade there on the way. Likely a flak half attack here for Jimmy, the 251-17. Will later be replaced by the 251-17 Asferung D, which had a slightly more turret, shall say, model of the flak gun there, no sights to drop down. And that will later be replaced by the 251, I think, -23, which had a flag drilling instead of the 2cm flak gun. Sturmpuni checking the concept of the fuel point there. Volksgren stopping the assault towards the carve point. And we go in close quarters combat. The Sturmpunis will win most one-on-one engagement in the early to mid-game. Being slightly pushed back here. Flak half attack can be called in a few moments here for Jimmy. As for Asiamint, he's yet to take up. But we are seeing 4 conscript squads now, so certainly not impossible. In fact, might be planning air troop tactics, airborne troop tactics. There, we don't need to talk a tiny bit slower there. I know that is a fairly consistent complaint I get from some people, though from others they don't mind. So armored assault there and urban defense could still happen, but I would say this one becomes slightly more likely. In fact, he hasn't chosen it yet. Does make me think he more likely is planning something else. But what it is hard to say here. Brandhunt got the conscripts burning up Yuri and Boris. Conscript being pushed back. So Pump Company there, finest will take care of Asiamint and the Red Army. Could go straight to a tank reaper in command, and then fast T-7 here versus Jimmy. Flak half attack right around the corner there for Jimmy. And Deutschland. So there you go. 251-17 flak half attack. Mine goes off. They're almost wiping out the entire Volksgren squad there. Pretty close call there for Jimmy. And there you go. Tank reaper tanking up for Asiamint, but still no doctrine from either side. Brandhunt gun out of here. Pushing the conscript out of the car behind the well there. They get up. Germans get them also in return. They're both basically on fire. I don't think, though, that's what they meant when they say fight fire with fire. Remember, comrades, fight fire with fire, but we on fire too. Well, they just have to burn harder. I don't think that's how it works. Kenway for Jimmy Ops expecting some sort of light tank soon to be thrown at him, or a fast anti-aircraft tower attack. We do get the T-7 light tank here for Asiamint. Fulton moving towards the eastern field point here. Going for the carve point up north here. Sturmpuni being back by the conscripts. Still no doctrine though from either side. Both players continue to be a bit shy there. At this point, could still be grand offensive just for the Tiger tank at this point, then for Jimmy, or elite armor for heat shield from the Sturmtiger as for Asiamint. The longer this goes on, the more likely I think it's going to be end up either armored assault or urban defense. Though of course there's always room for me to be surprised spectacularly. So there you go, T-7 light tank out of Asiamint. Basically an amalgamation of the T-50 and the T-60 tanks, which are basically either an infantry support tank or reconnaissance tank, and the T-7 was actually just being made to keep productions line going as they're moving T-34 lines closer towards the interior of the Soviet Union to keep it away from the Germans. So it's not like they made it because it was like a good tank. It wasn't particularly good or exceptional. It was just a tank they could make to keep the Germans occupied, sort of, in a sense, while they're, like, you know, getting the T-34 productions like safer places. It's a little fun fact there. I believe it's been like more expensive to make than the T-34-76. But that one is always a bit questionable. In some ways, the T-34-76 was also a very expensive tank to make. Mostly due to the aluminium engine, which was basically really expensive. In fact, aluminium engines were so expensive, the Germans normally made all the expensive tanks, decided that was too expensive for them, so go figure. Almost got the T-7 there, then the south we got points being seized by the engineers here for Asiamint. Troops hanging out there. Flak half tank need repairs. Nothing further on Asiamint's base. Slowly approaching the 10-minute mark, and both sides have yet to commit to a doctrine. Again, further highlights that this is likely going to end up with some sort of, like, you know, big tanks. I know some players like the big tanks. More Molotovs here being used efficiently against Jimmy. Got the full tank from the north. MD-34 almost done here for Jimmy and Deutschland. Digging on the carve point. Asiamint 17 got good pressure on Jimmy. Got the Fulton forth with the Sturmgewehr 44. Pushing back the Frontovix there. They're taking some bullets to his face and dropping dead. And there you go. Flak after dropping out to tank and AT rushing. Got the Kenneth nearby. Sturmpioneer could also equip themselves with a Panzer Strike. That wouldn't be half bad either here. That wouldn't be half bad either. I've been seeing more and more players after they allowed them to have both Panzer Strikes and the support package to equip the Sturmpioneer with the Panzer Strikes. And yikes, the Flak half-track got a bit too quick to fire the next to suppress the Sturmpioneers. Almost killed them. Mein Gott, Otto, stop firing! Stop firing! We're Germans! Well, you are from Eastern Germany. You do look a bit Polish. Shut up! Truck on the way there for Jimmy, the Schwerer Wehrmacht Schlepper. That's going to be the Schwerer Panzerhauptquartier. Maximum way there for Asiamint. Still no doctrine though. Fleming goes from the south here. Rudolf drops it, and there you go. Heinrich and Otto lose their feet. Kenrith moving in, going to sneak up in the T-70. Shot fire, missed. Good hit there, punching straight through the sidearm of the T-70 light tank. Field bombardment here, needs to keep the Volksgunner moving actually, instead of stopping up right next to the machine gun that's already getting bombarded there. But there you go, Brandhand gunner there, Conscript pushed away there, MG-34 though. Close to being wiped out, there we go. Dieter, Dietrich, and Deinhard. All blown to bits there by the high explosive shell of the Sister 3 additional field gun, and now there's just an awful lot of soldiers here. Jamie, I think, is going to have to like conclude this is not a worthwhile fight to fight and just get the hell out of there. North here, being pushed back by Conscript's maximum combo. Truckman 40 going to set up around the fuel point and calf point, sort of, though this particular cluster of trees and shrubbery will make it a bit difficult to cover the calf point efficiently. Flak half coming up and using the Shet as well, slight cover there from any field guns. Back here in Asiamint space, looks like a mechanized armor company soon, but still not son of a doctrine. Again, starts to look more and more like armor assault here from Asiamint. One gun, the field gun, plus the flak up Johnny and T-76 hit from the KMF here. Folks, one more dart, constant charging in here. And there you go, nice merge here by Asiamint on the field gun crew, but probably would help if you've gotten out of the fire first. You understand the gun that's on fire? Yes, just pretend the fire isn't there. I don't think that's how that works. We'll make it work. There you go, what? The field gun. Close call though there for Jimmy. Brandhand gun in the field gun. He's doing it there obviously just to keep the field gun from being crewed easily again here by Asiamint. While the MD Fed force person the both troops. Insane armor pigeon actually popped here. I think that could be a good idea. We got the authorization there. Field gun crewed up, but again it is on fire still. I do not envy the field gun crew that has to tow that one, because that field gun has got to be literally very, very hot. Like, they got to be wearing asbestos gloves or something, which, as a fun fact, German machine gunners actually did to change the barrels on the machine guns. They used asbestos gloves. If I recall correctly, that is. Anyways, choosing straight for the flak half track, turning into it. Fulton out eastwards here for Jimmy. Flak half track there will not surround into counter with the T-70. If he had a Panzer Strike, maybe could have dissuaded he Asiamint from pursuing it, but using the train and the smoke heat to mess with Asiamint there. It's almost like Looney Tunes, except, you know, slightly less violent. Kenrith and the T-70 punching straight through. We got the company from the air, flanking like Kenrith, clearing it out. But the flak half track actually pulled out. That was some really sharp maneuvering there by Jimmy. That was really sharp maneuvering. Then great use of the terrain, then just the rest of the situation to get the T-70 to duck off for long enough to give the flak half track to safety. So thumbs up to Jimmy on that one. Mechanized Armor Company, not finished yet here, the Asiamint. Might want to finish it off there. But still, slowly approaching the 20-minute mark, and neither side's committed to a document. Again, at this point, it's either lead armored for the Sturmtiger, maybe some heat shells, or it's going to be grand offensive for the Tiger tank, maybe a Panzer Commandant, which you can also get from elite armored anyways. And Asiamint to finish off, and again, likely going to be armored assault here or urban defense. But I don't think it's urban defense. You typically pick it for other stuff as well, rather than just the KV2. But for armored assault, it's, you know, very much just, you know, big tanks, the doctrine. I mean, they could have just called it that as well, and just like, you know, been just as adequate and a descriptive, if anything better. So, likely armored assault here for Asiamint. I would be thoroughly surprised if we went for airborne troops at this point. That would be completely baffling. Which of course means there's a good chance he could still do it, but I just would not recommend it. Unless Asiamint's holding a gun to your head saying you have to do it. Flak going for the Maxim. We got 3 versus 414. Jimmy needs something about those victory points as well. More sandbags here, plenty for Asiamint. Thumbs up. CoH2 rocket launcher, then again using the bulletin to speed it out there. Interesting choice there by Asiamint to rush out the CoH2 there first. Good theoretic way got for Jimmy, in particular, so going to hit up with the tank first. That could actually put Asiamint in a bit of a tight spot. Unless, of course, Jimmy decides he wants to stall for the Tiger tank. But all of a sudden, there's, I think, a good addition here for Jimmy and Deutschland. T7 up, and then we put him moving forwards and then backwards. Ace level T7 is also a definite problem there for Jimmy's infantry. So very close to that Panzer IV. You could also go for Grand Offensive to get the Orbital equipped with the Infrared Sturmgewehr, which is cheaper than this, but also still quite effective, plus is fairly good against units in heavy cover. Flak capture going from a nice position here. Panther fast in the T7 light tank. CoH2 is ready. This could become really painful there for Jimmy, very fast in the center there in the sub 240. He's clearly not expecting Asiamint to rush at a CoH2 rocket launcher, but that is exactly what Asiamint is doing. There we go, straight after the infantry and support. And there you go, Filter Squad almost wiped out. MD-Fed full crew, those splattered across the ground here. Like a fine paste. And the South attempt to flank through is defeated by a single mine here by Asiamint. Thumbs up there. Orbit on the center there, trying to grab the center victory point, but they're taking air out from MD-34. Needs to grab that machine gun back and turn against Jimmy or Asiamint once more. And the Orbital squad is just pushed back. Flak half attack Ken from the moon. There you go. Panther fall for Jimmy. Very close to the 20-minute mark, and neither side has still yet to choose a doctrine. Almost got the T-70 here. Close call, but does get away there. But that was a rather ugly engagement there for Jimmy. Rather ugly. Grand northern point there with the Sturmpionier. Lots of reinforcement here in the base here for Jimmy. Could also now equip the Orbital gun with the LMG-34. And there we go. Asiamint very much expected here. Goes for armored assault, featuring the T-35 medium tank, radio intercept, vehicle crew repair training, the IS-2 heavy tank, and the IL-2 Sturmovik attacks. It is very much big tanks. The doctrine. Panther fall right in the corner here for Jimmy. But still no sign of a doctrine from him. Still no sign of anything there from him. And we do get Grand Offensive, so Jimmy planning Tiger tank himself as well, but also opening up here for the Infrared Sturmgewehr, smoke bombs, which is pretty good, Panzerfusilier, and of course Panzer Commandants, adding the pinlight machine to their Panzer IV. They could have gone for the Panzer Commander, but pinlight machine is also a solid choice, but Panzer Commander would also open up for some artillery strikes to maybe clear out some of the support weapons, in particular considering how Jimmy, or Asiamint, I mean, likes to bunch them up there. Pushing on the center. Those Sturmpanies need to retreat. They're just cannon fodder at this point. And Asiamint here coming to the T-35. So while both sides definitely have like big tanks within their commanders, their doctrines, they are not playing straight for them. So thumbs up there. Asiamint, they're going for the premium and medium T-35 tank there. T-70 going straight here for the flag craft. There's bits of reconnaissance. It's just like, you know, not shooting. That's a small bit of luck there for Jimmy's Blackcraft track. In the south, mine goes off. At least he's actually starting to exert pressure towards his opponent's fuel point. I'm actually surprised it took Jimmy that long to consider that. And the opposite one in the end equipped with the MG34. Again, there's nothing wrong in that. It is a solid upgrade, make no mistake. But, you know, Infantry Sturmgriff in 40 is also, you know, kind of good. T-35 there, Ryan got smoke bombs off. Around the centre here. North East opposite up, backed up at the flat craft track. Constantine hammered. The East Field being pushed back the Constantine Engineers. Panther Force shoots, misses. T-7 was the full Grenadiers. Conquers the flat craft track down its engine. And there you go, T-35 strikes it. Jimmy's flat craft track exposed. And down it goes. A great kill there for Jimmy's Asiamint's T-35, not for Jimmy. That's definitely a significant blow there. Loses one of his best anti-infantry assets by far. Although again, the Orbison can definitely start picking things up here. Particularly were to go for like another Orbison squad, that could be really powerful there for Jimmy versus Asiamint. Back here, nothing further happening or transpiring. We'll have to see what happens next. Will they start stalling for the big tanks, or will there be other things happening? And there you go, another Katyusha barrage here from Asiamint, going for a single MD-34. Almost wipes, but not quite in the south. He folks with the engineers to the conscripts. A bit of heavy fighting there. We got 250 as a 405. Panther 4 could do with some light repairs. In the south here, troops routed. 7 kills on that Katyusha rocket launcher. There you go. T-35 from the forwards again. Panther 4 though. That's not good exposure in the mid to the T-35. That is very unfortunate there for Jimmy. The least fortunate for him, Asiamint's T-35 did not shoot at it. Another field gun there for Asiamint. That's going to be an even further problem here for Jimmy. In particular, since Jimmy does not have any light artillery currently, would definitely benefit from some light infantry guns to bombard, harass Asiamint's position, also deploy smoke screens. Another Panther 4 here, so at least Jimmy is very wisely not just running for the target tank right away. Thumbs up there. Sandbags in the center here. But I do think that Jimmy will need some sort of artillery. Again, the light infantry gun would be a fairly solid choice here. Could in particular be used to, for example, smoke this position. That would make a cornerstone of Asiamint's defense, for example, be very difficult to use against Jimmy, and could allow him to be a bit more aggressive. That is just in the south here, though. The fault what they need to retreat. The cover is pretty much just being whittled down here by the T-7 light tank. Ace level, 13 kills. Still no Panther Strike, no Sturm Pioneers either. Doesn't feel like Jimmy is slightly overlooking some things here. And there goes second Panther already there for Jimmy. As for Asiamint, a bit shorter than fuel. We'll have to see what he is ultimately planning here. Will it be the IS-2 heavy tank now? Will it be another T-35? In the center, MD-34 there. Center west getting hammered there by Asiamint. Can choose rocket launcher once more. Panther 4s both, they need some repairs. North side could definitely see some more pressure here, and similarly the south there. There's definitely a bit of a tendency, like for some players, just like, you know, focus heavily on the center of the map and just ignore the sides of the map. That does seem to be what's happening a bit here between Jimmy and Asiamint. Getting the Panther Commander on the second Panther 4. T-35 they're holding back here for Asiamint. Going through the south here with the Fultz Grenadiers. Mine's going down here for Asiamint. Going for the south. Got the ultimate never get smoke bombs in the center again. I mean, he's making fairly good use of it, usage of it there, but in terms of like coordination, it's a bit more loose. At least he's making several pushes here. Need to get the Panther a bit more aggressive against the teams in the south and the center there. Slow pressuring as well here. Almost seems like the center is basically just a distraction. Bit of bait there to keep Asiamint's attention where Jimmy wants it to be, and then makes the more important pushes elsewhere. That's actually pretty good, and that's the case. And there you go, MD-34 on maximum trouble here from the Oberstaden. Panther keeping the pursuit here, almost taking out the T-70. Got the maximum though. Pretty good kill here. This is actually turning out to be a pretty good push here for Jimmy, actually. Asiamint is completely blindsided by this, so 2 thumbs up to Jimmy here. Definitely has some of those, what I'd call important elements from assault, like you have, so say, the bait force, maybe with a bit of smoke, let's draw the attention, and then you have like the actual attacks happening with tanks and more elite infantry elsewhere. That way, extending your opponent's attention and hitting where they don't expect, and then making significant gains fast while suffering minimal losses. So, pretty good attack here. Asiamint here, perhaps to respond to this. It's going for the T-45, maybe planned it all along, I don't know. Contra being hammered. Grab the southern fuel point as well. This is turning out to be a really good push. You could just grab the maximum as well and turn that against Asiamint, or at least salvage it. That'd be really good here for Jimmy. Up north here, though, KMF needs to retreat, but still, again, really good push here for Jimmy. Really, really good push. And he's just completely caught Asiamint off guard and allowed Jimmy to make excellent gains. Got the maxim, got most of the map, got the fuel points. That said, of course, Jimmy needs to be careful doesn't like throw it all away then. That could still happen if he's not careful. There you go, T-35 to send him trouble. Fresh T-35 there as well for Asiamint. What will Jimmy do now in particular? What will Jimmy do with double fuel points? Will he try and go for the Tiger tank now? Will he just keep pushing up Panther 4s and maybe Yak Panzer? T-Sim strikes again though. 17 kills ace level. Continue to be an absolute menace here. North Panther 4 was the T-35. Got the other Panther 4 fixed up, so good. Also they move again. Going back what's lost in the south pretty swiftly. Very good there by Asiamint. But you can see there, Jimmy is more than intent on trying to keep that from happening, going in the Panther 4 fairly aggressively here, engaging up close. Up north here, we've got a large force of formation with double field guns, T-35, T-70 in infantry. That's going to require a significant push there, or a large flank here by Jimmy, I think, to deal with. Not going to be easy for the tanks to push for the south here, so through the center, this actually deep flank here for the southeast, I think would be a much better move here by Jimmy, to be honest, versus Asiamint. Machine there caught in a bad spot. Figures look like they're trying to engage the Schwer Panther quarters, besieging it effectively. We'll have to see how Jimmy responds to this. We got 201 versus 367. North here, Panther moves into the field guns and the T-45 easily dispatched. At least Jimmy survives with limited damage. Two Storm Punch reinforcing. Still no Panther Strike on those, honestly. At this point, with both 2 T-45s and T-70, you really should consider Panther Strike on those Storm Pioneers. I think they do him a lot of good. Well, not a lot of good, but some good. Which is better than no good. Graham needs to pump with the conscripts. Picks up that Panzer 4. We got 172 versus 367. Asiamint, despite that good push from Jimmy earlier, has most of the game control of the map. They're partly because Jimmy's ultimate wasn't able to follow up on this particularly well. And it does look like at this point Jimmy's in fact only for the Tiger tank. This is ultimate room for Asiamint to just go for what he wants to. Another series of smoke bombs. Will this be as effective? At this point, the entire defensive line from Asiamint has shifted away from the center. Jimmy also, I guess that was more for reconnaissance, like an actual like screening and attack there. It's that Jimmy has perhaps lost a bit of confidence against Asiamint, which is typically very dangerous. North points being seized. Got the Orbs on the N-45 on the way, the Panther 4 being fixed up. Full screens with the conscripts. Back here, nothing going on for Asiamint. Grab the southeastern victory point. We got 127 versus 367. He is, at the current state of affairs, roughly 2 minutes away there from the Tiger tank against Asiamint. But it's definitely much farther away from an IS2. Every tank would just go for more T-35s. If he could, he would, I think, ultimately just as well off, honestly, if not better. Panther moving ahead there, getting smoke bombs off, but not where the field guns actually are, so that makes it harder for him just to push in with the Panther 4s, honestly. Which is great for Asiamint. So if he can just constrict him his Panther's movement, that of course is the best for him. Machine gun almost cleared out. 106 versus 367. T-Sun almost taking that. Looks like a mine actually got set off under it. And knocked out finally here at the 30-minute mark. But that T-Sun did absolutely amazing work here for Asiamint versus Jimmy. Absolutely amazing. Kevin closing up with Katusha. Northian attack to push there for the northern victory point. Easily deflected by Asiamint. Jimmy, though, is very close to the target tank, at least in terms of fuel, but manpower-wise, things are looking less smooth. And a lot more chunky. No more smoke screens here from Jimmy. And again, he keeps calling in there rather than where the field guns are. I'm not entirely sure why, though. Kind of feels like Jimmy is perhaps just repeating motion at this point, hoping that somehow Asiamint just makes a big mistake while he's keeping repeating the same motions and just somehow can exploit that mistake. But I don't think that's going to work out there. That's typically, I would say, one of those most riskiest strategies, which is just, repeat, the same motions, hoping your opponent messes up strategy. It's a surprisingly prevalent strategy, particularly if a player just somehow, shall I say, stalls mentally. They just go for this strategy, you just hope somehow the opponent makes a mistake and can exploit. And again, it can happen, obviously, in particular versus less skilled player, but versus more skilled players, it's typically a lot less efficient of a strategy. We got some point pieces back here by Asiamint as well. Fuel-wise, he's there with the target tank. Manpower-wise, but at least about 1.5 minutes away there from it. Meanwhile, Asiamint himself is all stalling for the RS2 heavy tank here versus Jimmy. We got 77 versus 367. Orbs on there with 14 killed, 32. Panful starting south, it's backing up the Strumpunion for the southern victory point here. Jimmy got a bit more better push around this time. There you go, Control utterly obliterated. Bomb grenade there, slaughtering the entire lot. And so much blood, and I think most of it is mine. Moments away from the target tank here. We got the sun point being seized there by Jimmy. 74 versus 363. T for Fatherman hit for Asiamint. 8 kills, close veterans to 1. We got 74 versus 357. Jimmy has once more stabilized, but Asiamint's lining up for a pretty brutal attack here. Spearheading with the T-Fed effect of the two field guns, plans for this subs an immense wave of devastation here. Definitely kept it close to the front, not honestly blitzing away there, but nice to lose in there. Go Panther down, a huge slap across the face here for Jimmy by Asiamint. That is pretty great here, and of course, keep in mind here the T-Fed first meanwhile have suffered minimal damage. So this was just an absolute sledgehammer blow here right against the jaw of Jimmy. He is completely shocked here, and Asiamint Onskin, I think, just keep up the attack here steadily versus Jimmy. The Schwerpunch Court is now exposed here, quite aggressive. Fields me up here with the other T-5 with the Panther in the center. Jimmy is getting closer to the Tiger tank, but will it be enough at this point to actually stall this back Rashon style attack here from Asiamint? Grenades off. Skirmishing there. Grab the eastern point there. T-Fed coming out here for Asiamint. And there you go, 33-minute mark. We got the Tiger tank out here for Jimmy. Meanwhile, Asiamint is acting off fire from calling an IS-2 here versus Jimmy. Center pushing through, cut the field gun almost here. That may ironically allow him yet to call in the ice in a few seconds here. So Jimmy might actually accidentally just make things worse for himself. Asiamint just needs to press the button calling the ice to every tank. Just need to press the button, Asiamint. Panzerfaust on the T-35. Titanium out here for Jimmy and Deutschland. Asiamint, there you go, calling in the ice to a heavy tank. A mountain of socialist steel with a really big gun attached to it. So there you go, IS-2 rolling head, aiming the pin like the dish, the heavy machine gun. We got 14-8 versus 3-13. Ice 2 rolling out. Kitchu's moving forward. Tifa being fixed up. Gun machine gun ready. Tifa being hammered. Field gun setting up as well. Shot bounces though. Smoking off. Ice 2 then engages. Kills no one actually. Bit lucky there for Jamie, I suppose. But his luck can only get him so far. And there you go. Ice 2 gets a great shot there right through the Tiger Tank's frontal armor. Another shot there. Tiger Tank further damage after this. Storm Pony score almost wiped out. We got 48 versus 306. Tiger Tank's already down to less than half of. Ice 2's meanwhile suffered next to no damage. Jamie's situation is looking, well, not particularly good. Tiger Tank falling back as it is, and now it's all alone on the front line here. Fresh push to the south, but I don't think it's going to well here for Jamie, to be honest. Got the Tifa following in, then we got the Ice 2 ready to sub as well. We got the field nearby as well. We got smoke bombs once more. Ice 2 shoots, doesn't quite land a great hit on the Panda 4, but it is close, it is close. Northern Big probably used back here as well by Asiamint. We got 43 versus 305. Situation for Jimmy is getting worse by the moment. Tiger Tank strikes again. He not repaired. Tifa coming on the flank here. Ice 2 turns around here. Panther 4 suffers a damaged engine in the east. We got 41 versus 305. Infantry bombarded here. We got a Panther fast on the Ice 2 heavy tank. Panther 4 remains for the damaged engine. Kachush firing down the opposite side nearby. Tifa falling a bit back here. Panther 4 half health, destroying the field gun. At least denying that here to his opponent. Shoots almost right from MD-34. MD-34 almost taken out. Nine kills versus 1 here. Both sides' tanks are a bit battered up, but Asiamint still overall looking in better shape, and crucially, they got more numbers. Tifa engaging 85 engaging the Panther 4 here. Panther 4 kaputling him just for the Tiger Tank versus 2 Tifa plus an Ice heavy tank. And at that point, I think it's safe to say Jimmy's very much out of the war. He's only got 26 points left versus opponent's 305. He's outnumbered, he's outgunned. Ice 2 almost fixed up. Fortunately, the squad close to being wiped out. Go on. $26 versus 305 still. And there we go, another squad wiped by the T-45 up north. Storm Pioneer squad there, Cook was getting wiped up with the T-45. Well, the T-52 was going down, but at this point I don't think it's going to matter too much here for Asiamint. But yeah, in the end we got Jimmy surrendering. The battle is over. A loss for the German army, a victory for the Red Army. A brutal fight here on Mill Road. Both sides think it'll benefit at least from some earlier commander choices. At least Jim would have probably benefited more from plus some more Orbital Darden or some light artillery. He had some good moves from time to time, but ultimately I think settled too much into a more repetitive pattern, which Jimmy could much more easily, or Asiamint could much more easily deal with. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell your friends, tell your family, but don't tread on these. This is Imperial Links and cheers. Thank you for watching. Till tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.